Yeah. Hey folks, man, this is Monk and we are back with another episode of Classics of Cinematics. This is your show where we talk about the classics, and I'm joined as always with my co-host. We got Bobby Blockbuster.
Yo.
Yeah, folks, man, it's still spooky season, so we're going to be taking a look at a dark crime action adventure film, directed by Sam Raimi, and this is going to be 1990's Darkman. When thugs employed by a crime boss lead a vicious assault on Dr. Peyton Wilder, leaving him literally and psychologically scarred, an emergency procedure allows him to survive. Upon his recovery, Wilder can find solace only by returning to his scientific work, developing synthetic skin and seeking revenge against the crime boss. He assumes a phantom avenger persona called Darkman, who, with malleable facial qualities, is able to infiltrate and sow terror in the criminal community. And it's crazy. Do they even call him Darkman at all in this?
No.
That's the wildest hell.
No.
Yeah.
He has a cool ass name and nobody uses it.
Yeah, that's wild to me. But this film, man, this film is straight out of a comic book, man.
It is.
Like that's the only way to explain it.
It is.
Like even the namesake of the character, Darkman, that implies superhero type stuff. And this is kind of a vigilante along the lines of Batman.
Yes. Big time. I mean, but you know what? You're right. Like, I mean, this is one of those films, especially with it dropping in 1990. It embodies the comic book movie style blueprint. It gives you, your over the top villains, and you get your superhero that you're rooting for that also has a motivation for why he wants to be an anti-hero, vigilante-esque, whatever's going on.
Origin story, bro. It's brutal because like, a little bit more information to fill in.
That the girlfriend's an attorney and she's working with this land developer, and she finds out that the land developer's doing these shady dealings, and she has documentation that, of these dealings, like he's like, bribing people and extortion, the stuff that, mafiosos are entangled with most of the time. And instead of sending the goon squad to her to get the documentations, they send the goon squad to Peyton, who would then become Darkman, to his laboratory / his home to pretty much see if he knows what's up. She ain't tell him shit. Yeah. He didn't know nothing that was going on.
He don't know nothing about this. He in his lab.
He was like, what y'all doing here?
Like, looking at screens and fake skin all day.
I'm over here trying to find a way to make this skin stop melting. And
at 99 minutes.
Exactly. and it's what killed me is how they overkill this dude. I mean, my God. No wonder he's so angry. I mean, they come in, they kick his ass, they jump him. All right. It's like what, 6-1. They jump him, then they break his face through a bunch of plates of glass, then they electrocute him, then they put his face in boiling liquid, then they blow his ass up.
Then they blow him up, bro.
And he flies smooth out the damn.
Leave him for dead. So outside of coming back, like he survives, man. It's a crazy thing that they do to him. They do this procedure to alleviate his pain. They basically cut his nerve stem, which is wild. So he can't feel no sensations no more, no pain, which is useful if you're fighting crime. But it also causes, psychological side effects. He's isolated. He touched, that sensation is gone. So it starts messing with his head. Also, he's horribly disfigured. So
to put it lightly.
He's horribly disfigured.
My man ain't got no lips, dog. It's just teeth when he's talking.
Yeah. Like the type of person, if you seen him just walking out in public, you would think Walking Dead is on right now.
Yes, yes. And
horrible.
And it's great because you gotta love old school science and medicine, because they give him when the doctor is explaining this experimental treatment, she's like, by the way, he won't feel nothing and all this other crazy stuff. But then with this treatment, that's actually what kind of turns him into a superhero, because it gives him this power, and he has all this resilience, can't feel shit, but now he's also
fatigued.
And then, but he's fueled by this rage, and that's from the inside. He harnesses that on his own, because unlike other vigilante films and other superhero films, like this one was a little bit deeper because everything was done to him. Like the goon squad didn't come and kill his dog or hurt his family or kill his girlfriend or something. So, he's not on some I need to avenge my loved ones. No, they did this shit to him. So he's like, man, you touched me, so now I'm gonna touch you back. You know what I'm saying? And that's
That's messed up, bro.
That's a rough.
And they took everything too, because his wife thinks he's dead. Later on he reunites with her, but it's not fucked up because that's the thing, bro. Your face is really valuable, bro. Like if you I don't imagine me looking like Darkman trying to tattoo people.
Yeah.
Like, that's gonna be crazy. I probably have to wear a mask. I could be as ill as shit, but the people, when they want to sit here and watch my, look at the freak. Like,
yeah, exactly.
All
teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and that's the thing. That's the thing too. It's like, you know,
should have got a gangster grill. Yo,
put it on the outside. But yeah, and that's the thing too, because like what I do like about it is, you know, because, you know, it tells us with his form of science that he's doing, making this prosthetic skin or this fake skin or whatever, he's time stamped. So, you know, with him having the ability to make these faces, he can, you know, infiltrate the goon squad and all this stuff, but he's time stamped. The faces melt in what, 99 minutes?
Yeah.
And dude, when that starts happening, that in itself, I mean, it's not as grotesque as what's going on underneath the mask, but I mean, the things start bubbling and he starts like, his voice gets distorted.
Clever,
don't look at me. Don't get me.
It's clever. It's fun because it has all those elements and just his origin story, what they did to him, immediately makes him sympathetic. You're immediately rooting for this guy. You know, he's likable. And then he's a normal guy. It's not like he's got training or whatever. So he's using his wits, his intelligence, his scientific intelligence to come back after these gangsters.
And his newfound ugliness.
It reminded me of Fresh, man, when he starts coming back after the gangsters, because he's using his mask and disguises. He's imitating them. He's imitating their voices to disrupt their operations and get closer to them. He's moving. He's playing them like pieces of chess pieces on the board, man.
Absolutely.
It's great, man. And this story's dope, man.
You know, and just while we're still on the story, you know, shout out to Sam Raimi, because he actually wrote the short story, because he wanted to initially pay homage to the Universal horror films from the 1930s. And then he actually approached Universal, and he wanted to make a film. I think it was a pop superhero or a pulp superhero named The Shadow.
Yeah, I remember The Shadow. Yeah.
And then Universal ended up not giving him the rights to that because they already had plans to make that movie, and then they ended up later
come out until way later.
Way later, like, exactly.
I remember The Shadow.
This was something that they were working on since the 80s, anyways, and so what he did, he was like, all right, you know, you don't want to give me the rights to do this character. I'm going to come up with one of my own. And what he did was he drew inspiration from the Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Phantom of the Opera, and of course The Shadow. And then that's how he kind of, you know, put that all in a rubber band ball, and you got what we get from Darkman. And you can see a lot of these elements, especially when it comes to how, you know, not only just the disfigurement, but the fact that he needs to wear the mask, the way he isolates himself. And of course, you know, the love aspect. He's got the woman that now he feels he's too hideous to even, you know, bare his face to, and, you know, trying to reconnect with her on some other kind of way, giving himself that false hope, like, yeah, we can still make it work. I gotta take these goons out real quick and finish working on this fake skin, and then all will be right with the world. But, you know, as he progresses through the story, he starts to just come to the realization that it's never gonna be right. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta, you know, accept, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's get into some of the cast real quick, because I forgot to even mention them in the beginning, but we got Liam Neeson as our Darkman,
Peyton Westlake.
Yeah, we also get Frances McDormand plays his wife. Larry Drake plays Robert G. Durant, the gangster that's you know, in this thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's Louis Strack is the developer. That's Colin Farrell's, right? If I'm correct. Yeah. So I think those are our main people. There's a bunch of goon characters too, in
little cameos and whatnot.
Yeah.
We also get a Bruce Campbell cameo, and since we're going to dive into this cast, we have Bruce Campbell at the very end, where the last mask that Peyton puts on, and he turns around as Bruce Campbell, because initially Raimi wanted Bruce Campbell to play the role of Peyton Westlake, but Universal felt that he wasn't well known enough, considering that he only
Liam Neeson wasn't that well known.
And this was I think the first film that he did in the States. But you know what was wild to me is that before they casted Liam Neeson, Bill Paxton was supposed to get the role, and then they 86 Paxton for Neeson.
I do like Larry Drake's Robert G. Dog. It's like he's such a good gangster in this.
Yes, he is.
And this movie stands out to me. This feels like Batman '89, yo, and tone and setting. It's embracing the ridiculousness. I don't like when you try to ground your stuff too much, and this is embracing the whole ridiculousness. He's a ridiculous type boss. His he's mean. He tortures you with a cigar clipper, like clipping fingers,
and collecting them.
That's a
like, it's like, dude, what? It's like, yeah, that's his threat. He's like, you don't want to be part of my collection. It's like, oh no, I'd like to keep all of my fingers.
Yeah, he's so good in this, man. His scenes, I feel like he's eating up scenery. He's so good that the sequel was kind of trash, but it was named The Return of
Durant.
Durant, yeah. It was that part 2, I think.
It was part 2. Yep.
Yeah, Return of Durant, because he was so good in this, man. He's great, man.
But then, he's and the only other film that I ever saw him in where he plays a villain.
Oh, Dr.
Giggles. So what you get from him in this, and then when he gets his giggle on, it's really great.
Yeah, he passed away like a year or two ago.
He did. Mm-hmm. But the cool thing about him is not only is he just like this wild ass, finger clipping, collecting boss, but he's got one of the wildest bunch of gangsters
goons,
with him, like the goons. Like there's one guy has a prosthetic leg that is actually what is it? An IMI modified IMI. Is that
the one
Uzi.
They call Skip?
I think Skip, yeah, because what he does is there's another dude that always shoots the Uzi, laughs like a hyena, and Skip, well, like once the dude takes his leg off, he just hops around and waits for the dude to finish shooting. Like, I mean,
it's so goofy. That's why I love that they embrace it. They play it all with a straight face because no one reacts that this guy has one leg and they're like, this is what he's supposed to do. Like, put it this way, in the very beginning, the first meeting when they meet Eddie Black. You would recognize him. He was the black cop in Boys in the Hood who gave Trey a hard time.
Yes, he did.
But when they meet Eddie Black, it's so funny because Durant rolls up looking like straight up mafioso. They got limousines and suits, and then Eddie Black's got this crew of dock workers, and they come out to meet the gangsters. They got pipes, they got bats. One of them has nunchucks, bro.
Nunchucks.
Like why? And I think he gets shot with the leg submachine gun.
So he wasn't that good at chucking then. He should have been able to chuck that thing back.
Man, it's so great, man. I love this. It feels like a comic book. Like I said, the angles, the way they're shooting it, and it's so fun, man. They're leaning in and embracing. Shout out to the other goon, Paulie. I like him too, man. He just has that look. Like he looks like he's up to no good. And then he's one of the first guys that gets double crossed with I think he's the second guy.
He's the second
cross.
Yep.
Where he's supposed to pick up some money, and then Darkman imitates his face and picks it up instead of him and sets him up, leaves him doped up in the hotel room.
Dude, it's so funny. You can almost feel bad for him, even though he's a goon. Like when Durant runs upon him, he's like, "Yeah, man, where's the money, Paulie?" He's like, "I was asleep. I don't even know how I got dressed."
and it was 2 tickets to Hawaii.
Yes, for him and the other goon that went missing. He's like, "Oh yeah, okay, out the window with you."
It's so great, man. It's straight up comic book stuff, man. I love how they're dealing with that. Shout out to Frances Dorman plays Peyton's wife. She's good, support role, and like you said, she's the attorney that's getting stuff in motion. So the scenes we see, I think she has a scene in the beginning where she's talking, getting some exposition stuff, but then later on where she meets she has the other meeting with Louis Strack. And he really breaks it down. Yeah. Like he's the one, and she finds out that he's the one that blew up the lab, and it's like, oh, I gotta get the fuck out of here. You gonna kill me next. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's just things coming to a close. But it's cool, man. It's a great film, man.
And also like it's great pacing. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're not gonna talk about which movie we just reviewed where pacing was an issue, but we did just have this conversation, and but this one is paced.
Man, this thing
really
is 95 minutes, bro. There's no fat on this movie.
No, and it plays like a half an hour show. You know what I'm saying? Like if this could have easily been a TV series and hit just as hard with our episodes. You know what I'm saying? Because there's just that much to mess around with. You know what I'm saying? When you dive into this world, and we were talking like, this one, it feels so much like Batman 89. Like, whereas Batman, he's out there protecting Gotham when it's dark. Darkman is out there protecting this place when the sun's up. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you got a lot going on with that. And I just really like how they just kind of make it move like seamlessly through, with everything that they're doing. But, another thing that really stood out to me was the makeup effects. I think, and
there's some cool stuff, man. Like animation wise, like even when you just talk about the origin part, when he's in the lab and they're beating him up and he grabs the things and the one hand like really gets burnt. You can see it like it's like an animated. It's just like it's really crazy. Like and Raimi, man, he's coming out of this Evil Dead. You know, that's the guy. So it's cool seeing him bringing those elements into this, man.
And also, like what I also like is like in the opening credits, like you got all this steam going, and then you just get these little flashes of Darkman's face when he's all like wrapped up, kind of like the Invisible Man and stuff. Just like like almost like the subliminal messages that they used to do in the old school movies that would give people nightmares.
Strong horror production elements.
Yes,
man.
absolutely. But Tony Gardner, he was the one who was solely responsible for the look of Darkman, and my goodness, like he definitely gives us something that is memorable. When you see Darkman, when he's not all wrapped, I mean, even when he's wrapped up, he does have a very significant look that is memorable. But when he takes off that gauze, man, and you see just like, I mean, he only has a small chunk of his face that actually still looks human.
It's like this much. Everything else is burnt and
just burnt. And I mean, it's like tendons. He almost looks like, he starts to look like that dude in the attic from Hellraiser. You know what I mean? And his hands are all just messed up.
It's almost like you don't want to look at him, but then but it's so well done. You're just like, you're admiring the you know, the details that they put into the makeup and stuff.
And you also know why he looks that way. Where that's why it's like you don't want to turn around like, oh, he's so grotesque. It's like, damn, that's what they did to him. He gotta get him back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's great, man. It's really great. Like when those things come into play, even the stuff with the lab, like the cinematography of it, you know, it's combined with the makeup effects because there's so many awkward angles. Like even when they were interrogating Paulie in the hotel room and the angles that they're throwing on Durant and stuff, it's just like, yo, these feel like, if you freeze it, they feel like comic book panels, man.
They do.
The zooms and the cuts, like it's a signature, become a signature now of Sam Raimi's style, and even he incorporates that in the Doctor Strange Universe of Madness film, which I love that, man. People were hating, but you could see the flourishes in that film, the horror elements that he and his style that he infused into that, man. Yeah, it's great, dude.
Yeah, Bill Pope was the one who led the cinematography and everything. And on top of everything you just said, I really like the action sequences. I mean, like every time there's explosions or something crazy going on. I mean, dude, for the last 7 minutes of the film, Darkman is hanging from a like a cable at the bottom of a helicopter.
Yo, I love that, man.
Flying all over the place, yelling, they bashing him into buildings and shit. Man. Durant shooting a rocket launcher at him. I mean, it's insane.
And there's a couple scenes later where he's running down on individual gangsters, and it's like Batman, yo. He's playing with his prey a little bit, jumping out of the shadows, keeping them confused. Like it's cool, man.
You know, another shot that was just very memorable to me was initially after he jumps out of the window after the doctors give him the treatment, and he's just like walking through the rain in the alley looking all messed up, and then he finds his like cloak in the trash can. Kind of almost reminds you of like The Crow when he first.
You know what's funny? That's the same kind of jacket Candyman had on.
Yes.
And when I looked at it over, and I was like, yo, this is like the cut.
It's like the killer cloak, dog.
Candyman's had the fur trim though, you know, but it's the same.
Yes, man.
Joint. But you know what's wild? The funny part I just noticed was that his cat. Or was that a cat that came in there after the lab blew up?
I don't know, but he's mean as shit to the cat.
No, the cat didn't fuck with him. The cat was mean. Yo, the cat's like, get up out of here, bro. Like he tried to pet him, and that just like, I mean, swipe that.
I was like, but you ain't touching me with them messed up ass hands. You can't blame the cat.
The cats ain't supposed to pick up on that kind of stuff, man. They supposed to take you as you are. So I don't know if that was a stray, but I can't remember if the cat was shown earlier in the lab in the earlier scenes, or maybe he just was moved in.
I don't know.
It's like, this is my spot now, bro. What you doing in here? With this bubbly ass rubber.
Yeah, exactly. Smelling like burnt flesh and shit. You know? And also, you know, another thing that really ties this movie together is it has a great score. And why would it not? Who did the score? Danny Elfman.
Oh, that's the OG,
I mean, dude, it seems like every other movie we review is we're bringing this dude's name off. And you know, and one thing about Elfman. We've talked about him a lot in previous shows. We'll talk about him a little bit on this one. But my man can make a great superhero score. Like he's really good at that. We've talked about that with other films that he's done. But I mean, the way he adds the intensity to the intense moments, the drama to the dramatic moments, and the sadness to the sad parts.
What's a better film? Is this better than '89 Batman?
I think that they both, even though they are both the anchors to the blueprint.
I might dig this a little better, but it's crazy how close they were made.
That's what I'm saying. 89, 90. These are the anchors that hold down the blueprint of giving people how superhero movies were supposed to be made.
I think the only thing this has, or Batman has over this, is Jack Nicholson.
Yes.
maybe.
Jack Nicholson, but see, Drake is also, Durant is also, a very good,
he's good.
Very good villain. But, I'm partial to the Joker. I think also, like I said, another thing that kind of would just make me lean a little bit more towards Batman is because it's all in the dark, and that just adds a certain level to it. You know what I mean?
It's got bigger spectacles. They definitely have more money.
Well, he's
to play
more
with.
well known.
Yeah,
and when
Batmobile and the flying
and
scene
also
and all that stuff.
Also the way that they just completely revamped and brought a new look and style and feel to Batman as a whole in '89. Mm-hmm. Before that, he was
should have stole a car, bro, and hooked it up. If
yeah,
a vehicle.
The Darkmobile. Like, it could have been like an old busted up caddy or something.
Yo, he could have reskinned it, but after 99 minutes,
well,
bro.
No, you know what he would need? It couldn't be a Cadillac. He would need something like the A-Team van because he has to have a little lab in there in case his skin starts melting. He has to,
that
touch up.
That would have gave him more range if he did have a lab and a helper, but.
He was everything. He had no Alfred, he had nothing. He was just him.
Nah, this joint really held up, dude. Rewatching this, it was a blast. I remember seeing this in the theater when it came out back in the day. Shout out to the homie Ted. I don't know where he's at in the universe, but I remember seeing Teddy Miller, man. We went and saw this joint like the opening weekend, man. That shit was great, bro. It was a really core memory, bro, watching this film. I think his pops was with us, man, and we all came out like, man, his pops was like, that was a good movie. Yeah. And I remember I had the comic book adaptation of this. Like, I think Marvel used to do but it was like the big format, like the Conan joint, like the black and white,
novel.
The black and white magazine style books, man. Yeah, dude, this was great, man.
Dude, I'm with you 100%. The rewatch was just so much fun. And we talked before about how some movies just can't stand the test of time, but the ones that do, they just do it in a very special way. And this one does that. The look of it still holds up to what we see now with everything in the MCU or modern, comic book style films. But man, the special effects hold up.
I kind of wish things went back more to this tone, man. It's rare. I think now because we've set the standard, even since The Dark Knight came out, things have just gotten more. Just more serious, man. You couldn't get something like this made, I don't think with the same tone. It's going to be tough, bro.
Well, the stuff nowadays, it definitely has a more serious undertone, but not to say that this didn't. To me, this felt more real. You know what I'm saying? It just felt more real because of the character dynamic, the way they character build. You know what I'm saying? It gives us a little bit more relatability.
Yeah, it's more. Yeah, I think. Yeah, like I said, I think his origin story is one of the best, man.
Because when you look at him, dude, he doesn't have superpowers. He was a regular dude that some messed up stuff happened to, and then just by circumstance and like I said, old school science and medicine, that kind of helped him, put himself in a position to actually pour gasoline on the fire that was already burning in his belly and do something about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was a great watch, man. Definitely make sure you check this out and get a chance, and you will not be disappointed.
Not at all.
I think I'm gonna add this to the yearly rewatch list, dude.
Yeah,
it's
man.
that good, man.
It definitely is. I'm with you 100% on that.
Yeah, but I think we can wrap this up, folks, man. Get out of here and enjoy your day. Who we gotta play today, man?
Man, we got Pittsburgh.
Oh, they gonna kick our ass.
Nah, don't say that. Don't say that. We gotta remain hopeful. Raider Nation, remain hopeful for a fruitful season.
Yeah, folks. But we out of here, man. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, tell your friends about us. Click below, check out the merch we got. To help us, cover some of these costs. And you catch me at Monkey Blood on Twitter, Instagram. Follow the show at Classic Cinematics on Instagram.
This Bobby Blockbuster. As always, you can catch me on the next show. And we got another fun one coming up next week to continue our trend for spooky season.
Yeah, all right. We out of here. Peace.